In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the traps of NRI marriages, why people get stuck in NRI marriage and keep enduring the abuse. And most importantly, I'm going to give you steps and tips of saving yourself from these problems. And if you know of someone who's getting married to an NRI, these tips will come very handy and will be useful. Now, I also understand the emotions and the sentiments around this very sensitive topic, but I think it is really important for us to talk, to discuss, and to know the facts as well. It's time to speak up. So, let's begin with the facts first. Now, why do you think these NRI families fetch brides from India? And I'm going to use the word fetch because that's what it feels like. Well, they go to India to get brides because they think that women from India will understand their culture, they will understand the practices at home, and it will be easy for them to mold the women coming from India because they are coming from a similar cultural background. Versus if they get a bride from a foreign land, it will be very difficult for them to mold them or to make them follow and practice their religious and cultural practices. Now, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that these people who've come to UK, US, and other foreign lands like 25, 30, 50 years back, they actually got with them the culture which was followed, the practices which were followed in India at that time, when you and me were not even born. When they get the brides from India, they want the brides to follow these rituals and these cultures. Now, you might think that, oh, they are keeping the culture alive. But believe me, it is not like that. They don't have the right environment to follow these religious practices, but they still do it. And it is kind of ridiculing it. Now, you and me might not even seen those rituals or cultures being followed in our families. But when we come here, we are forced to follow each and every ritual and culture that's followed in that household. They think that the brides who are coming from India will cook, clean, support them in their old age, and will also contribute to the household. So they want all in one. Now, what happens is when you come here from India, one takes time to acclimatize themselves to the weather, to the culture, to the language. Getting used to the weather takes a couple of years. It's not like you've seen one weather and you start getting acclimatized to it. It takes time to get used to the winters, to the rain, to the winds, to the harsh weather. It takes time to follow the currency. It takes time because, in our minds, we still keep calculating the transactions in Indian currency. If you come from India, you know what I mean. More than that, the language, people speak English, but it's a different accent and you take time to understand that accent as well. So all in all, before you can stand stable in a foreign land, the families, the NRI families expect you to start adapting them, start absorbing everything around you like this. Now, can you imagine in a foreign land where you don't have your old support system, you don't have your friends here, you don't have your family here, there is a time difference, there is a culture difference, there's a language difference. If you are in a household which is not even supportive, how difficult it is for you to come here and adapt to everything. It is very confusing because you don't know what's happening. You're trying to make all of it work at the same time. And especially people who come here after leaving their job back in India and they start looking for another job here. It's even more difficult because you're bound in that household till you find a job. Now, some families, what they do, they control. There's coercive control. There's a lot of financial control. They control what you wear, eat, when you eat, and they'll keep making comments on these matters as well. And they think they have the rights to do it because you, coming from India, would not know your legal rights here. You will be able to mold yourself according to them easily. Now, the question is, why do they do that? Why do they go to India? Why do they get brides from there? And why do they start torturing these people? Well, I'm looking for an answer myself. I don't know why they do this. Some people I know, some families I know do it for dowry. Some people do it for jewelry, cash, money. And some people just love having that power on brides that they get from India. The second thing that people face here is complete isolation. They are cut out from their families, they are abandoned, they don't know how to maneuver through the legal systems. They just feel trapped. They don't know what to do. And especially if they are silenced by their families back in India because divorce is a stigma, they just feel stuck. Now, if you are here in the UK, or if you are in US, or if you are in any foreign land, and if what I am talking to you resonates with you, here are some tips that you need to follow. First of all, make sure that your passport, your visa, your BRP, or any legal gadget which keeps you held in the country is safe with you and it is far from the reach of your partner or your in-laws. That's very important. Even if you have a joint bank account with your partner, make sure that you have your individual account where you are putting your savings as well. The most important thing is jewelry. Now, when we come here, getting a locker in an Indian bank, it's not difficult, but you have to figure things out. So I would recommend you either get a locker in your name in an Indian bank and deposit your jewelry and, safe deposit things there, put it in a locker, or you just keep all your jewelry and your luxury expensive items back in India and don't get them here. Because if you are keeping them in the custody of your in-laws or your partner, and if things go south, if your family is abusive, it is going to not come back to you. Now, the most important thing is if your life is under threat, if you are facing physical abuse, stop this video and call on the frontline number immediately, who will come and rescue you from this situation. But if you are not facing a life threat, if you are under any kind of mental abuse, financial abuse, coercive control, you still have help. In this country, you have help around these things. First of all, you need to decide whether you want to take action or not. And if you're ready to take action, you need to file for a non-molestation order. You need to mention what you're going through. You need to evidence what you're going through. Now, of course, non-physical abuse will be difficult to evidence, but you need to have someone you're talking to. It can be your GP. It can be a friend whom you are confiding in. It can be your work colleague. So you need to confide in someone. You need to have your support system. And all the more, I would say, please don't feel alone. Don't feel lonely. I am there to support you. I am there to help and rescue you from your situation. But it is important for me to also understand what you want, what sort of help you need. I am not a lawyer, so I will not be able to give you legal guidelines, but I will be able to help you to understand how it works. I will be able to guide you to the right person, to the right people who can help and support you. But the most important thing is to realize and to understand that it is not your fault. You are not to be blamed for what you are going through. Because it is so confusing. You might just keep thinking that you're not able to cope up, you're not able to adapt to the foreign land. And when you come to a first world country, you would think that people have an advanced mentality. But when you come here and you get the culture shock of your life, you feel like you've entered into the remotest village of India. And by that, I don't mean the country feels like that. What I mean is your household, the mentality of the people in your household would feel like that. So if you are in a situation that I have just mentioned, that I've been speaking about for the past 10 minutes, and if you want help, don't find yourself alone. reach out to me and we can work out things together. All the best to you.